Welcome to Bay State Golf. I'm Sean Melia. I'm trying to play every golf course in the state of Massachusetts. 9 holes, 18 holes, public, private, you name it, I'm trying to play it. Let's talk about 4 golf courses today that are outside of the $495 belt that are $50 or less on the weekends to walk. Now, there are a lot of golf courses in this part of the state outside of $495. Some of them are more than $50 and you can go play a bunch of really good golf courses for $70 to walk. You can play places like the Ranch for over $100 to walk. Taconic, my all-time favorite, you can play for $180 to walk. But sometimes you just need a cheap place to go play some golf, walk a golf course, or hop in a cart and maybe pay upwards of $70 to just hit some golf shots, be outside, meet up with some friends, and maybe play a new golf course. So I'm sharing today 4. Here they are in no real particular order other than just how I wrote them down here. Let's first go to the Ledges in South Hadley. Course I've talked about a lot when I talk about Western Mass Golf. I played it in the Publix last year. It kicked my butt, but I thought it was very good. It is $50 to walk on the weekends. It's obviously even cheaper during the weekdays. A golf course is going to test you. It's got a bunch of short par 4s, out of bounds in a lot of places, some tricky holes. The second hole is a really tough hole. Got a great little short par 3 right after that, the third hole. Good closer, maybe one of the better closing holes I've played on my quest so far. Just a good big par 5 leading up with a great view of the mountains and Western Mass in general when you're up there. So the Ledges, really great spot. Don't have a ton of pictures of the Ledges because I was competing, and I am looking forward to getting back there, paying my $50 or my $40 during the week to play another time, get some proper footage of the golf course, and give a better sense of what it's like. But it is definitely worth checking out if you are out in that area of the state. Next up, maybe we started with the Ledges. That's the most expensive of these 4. So we'll go to the next most expensive, and that's Pine Ridge in North Oxford, Massachusetts. It's $48 to walk on the weekends, highest price you're going to pay. This is a golf course that is rough around the edges. If you're looking for pristine, great conditions, Pine Ridge is not your place. The thing that I found charming about it was the holes that are on one side of the road. I think it's 10 through 15 or 10 through 14, no bunkers at all. I started on the 10th hole. I played that set of holes around that side of the road and realized as I was walking across the road to go to, I think the 15th hole, I hadn't seen a bunker yet on the golf course. It's tree line. There's some funny spots where you get some trees kind of overhanging fairways. That kind of comes with the territory when you're playing a lot of maybe cheaper golf in Massachusetts. But I thought it was a good kind of nice walk. It's a pretty easy walk. Obviously, you could hop in a cart and ride too for probably around $65 to $70. Carts usually cost about $20, maybe $25 nowadays to hop in a cart and ride. But overall, I thought the greens also are a little challenging. A lot of people noticed this, and I noticed it too. They're all just a little bit perched up. So every shot, if you miss on an edge, you might roll away, you might bounce away. You're hitting chip shots up a hill. But overall, I thought Pine Ridge, for what it is a pretty good value if you get it in good condition. It's one of those places that seems like if they get a lot of rain, if it's a rainy season, if it's been a rainy week, it might be a little bit soggy, a little bit damp because it does have some low-lying areas. But overall, Pine Ridge, North Oxford, a good option for $48 at its highest price to walk. We'll drop down to $45 to play Gardner Muni in Gardner, Mass. A golf course that I played a qualifier in last year. It is another tree-lined, pretty hilly, some short par 4s, some gettable holes. I played okay out there. I've written about this. I actually had a battle with the shanks during a qualifier, which is the scariest thing you can really have during a qualifier. And I also didn't get to finish the 18th hole. So I checked this golf course off, hit my tee shot in 18, and we got called off the course for a lightning storm. Never got to hit my wedge up near the green, and then, likely chip to 15 feet and make a 2-putt bogey, which was kind of the theme of the day when I played there the first time, aside from hitting some wicked hosel rockets. But overall, there's some good holes on the back. There are some holes that are, you get those tight angled dog legs where if you hit it in the wrong spot, trees are going to be blocking you out. You're chipping out. Maybe you have to scramble to save par. Some par fives that are good. The 5th hole, which runs along the road, is kind of a cool par 5. And then 7 is a wicked boomerang kind of shaped dogleg left par 5 that left a little bit to be desired. My favorite hole on the course, I think, was the 11th. It's a short par 5, way uphill. You get some water on your left. It would be kind of cool if the trees weren't all there. Have some pretty nice views of some water out there in Gardner. But for $45 on the weekend, it's a good golf course. It's another one that you're paying $45. So what do you expect out of $45? You're going to get some shaggy spots. You're going to get some shaggy lies. There were some wet, kind of heavy spots just because we had some rain the time I played it. I think it was last August. But $45, pretty good value, and a spot that is worth checking out kind of in that central Massachusetts area for under $50. Okay, so let's get to the cheapest golf course of this list. You can pay $33 cash only to play Southampton Country Club in Southampton, Massachusetts. I actually went out there this past month and played it for the first time. I paid $29 during the week to walk. It's $50 to ride on the weekends. That's their price. So even if you threw in a golf cart, this still is $50 or less, which is pretty good. This is a tight, narrow golf course. I think most courses that are kind of in this area are going to be pretty tight. Trees cost a lot of money to kind of take care of, either to remove or to trim. But the greens were pretty good. They were interesting. I found myself having to think a lot about approach shots that I was hitting in and where I might want to leave a shot. Some tee shots where you've got creeks or hazards kind of running across the middle of them. You've got a stretch of holes that are kind of arrow straight from 5 through 8. They all run parallel to one another. And it's a hard walk in that I almost got lost out there at one point. I had to ask for guidance in where the 5th tee box was coming from the 4th hole. You walk past 3 other holes to get to the 5th from the 4th. So you walk past some tee boxes, some greens, and it's kind of confusing. But overall, I thought for $29 for $33 on the weekend to play 18 holes of golf, it was well conditioned. The greens rolled nicely. There were some interesting shots. You kind of have to play the right tee boxes there because there are a bunch of dog legs that if you play from too far up, you might kind of be squeezed out. If you play from too far back, you might not be able to hit it far enough to kind of get past those dog legs. But if you choose the right tee boxes and kind of keep your ball a little bit on a string, it's a pretty good option if you live out in that area. It was jammed Wednesday afternoon. When I left, they got men's leagues. That's always kind of one of those tough parts about some of these public golf courses during the week is you almost have to play in the morning or you're not going to get out in the afternoon because they are running leagues and the game is just so popular right now. And that's how people are playing. But Southampton Country Club, I enjoyed it. And, I didn't love it, but for the price, for the drive out there, I also played Holyoke Country Club that morning, which is a 9-hole golf course. So it was kind of a nice 27-hole day out there just to try to check off 2 golf courses. If I'm going to drive all the way out there from where I live in Boston, it's nice to play 2 golf courses. And those were 2 pretty good, like neighborhoody, simple, straightforward golf courses that if I lived out in that area, I would consider playing, a couple times a year. Same with I'd go play Pine Brook a couple of times a year. I'd go play Ledges probably more than that because I think it's a pretty good test of golf, and you could kind of sharpen your game out there. And Gardner Municipal, I liked it enough, or I want to see it again. I'd like some validation or some vindication. I signed up for another Mass Pub Links qualifier out there. So last year was Mass Mid-Am, did not qualify, and this year upcoming, I am playing in the Mass Pub Links qualifier out at Gardner. Want to see it again. It's kind of one of those places after I walked off, I didn't really love it, but I also thought, man, I think this is a place, if I played it a couple times and you try to unlock it, you can have a pretty good day. So those are 4 golf courses. Once again, they are the Ledges. You can pay $50 peak to play the Ledges. Pine Ridge in North Oxford, you can pay $48 peak price. You can play Gardner Muni in Gardner, Mass for $45. And finally, Southampton cash only at the bar, one of those cool little things, $33 peak price to play Southampton Country Club on a weekend. So where are some courses that you think I should definitely check out or make an effort to check out this summer? I'm going to be driving through Western Mass in the middle of June to get to New Jersey. I'm going to try to play some golf courses on the way down and on the way back to make the trip worthwhile and check off some new golf courses. So if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. They could be 50 or below. That would be ideal. But really, in general, any sort of options or ideas for ways to maybe check off 2 golf courses in a day on my way down to New Jersey and even 1 more on the way home, I would love to hear them. Thanks for following. Thank you, as always, for subscribing. And we will see you next week. We're going to do some more outside of 495 golf courses, but we're going to talk about some that are a little bit more expensive or just in that like $51 to $80 range, maybe $90 range to walk on a weekend. And we'll talk about some other ones next week. See you then.